In the winter of 1897, in a quiet valley in Greenbrier County, West Virginia, a young woman named Zona Heaster Shue was found dead under strange circumstances. Her death seemed sudden, tragic, but ordinary. At least, that's what everyone believed. Until her mother walked into the local courthouse and said something that stopped the entire town in its tracks. She said, "My daughter was murdered, and her ghost told me who did it." This is the only murder case in US history where a ghost's testimony helped convict a killer. Zona was bright, independent, full of life. Then she met a newcomer, Erasmus Trout Shue, a handsome blacksmith who had just moved to town. They married quickly. Too quickly, according to Zona's mother. From the start, something felt wrong. Shue was charming in public, but behind closed doors, he was cold, controlling, possessive. Neighbors whispered that Zona looked frightened around him, like she was living in silence under someone else's rules. But no one knew how bad things really were. On January 23, 1897, a boy running errands for Shue went to the couple's home. He found Zona at the bottom of the stairs, barely dressed, motionless. Shue arrived moments later. He didn't let the boy speak. He didn't let anyone come close. He carried Zona upstairs, laid her on the bed, and refused to leave her side. When the doctor arrived, things only got stranger. Shue insisted on dressing Zona himself, in a high-collared dress and a stiff scarf around her neck. Every time the doctor tried to examine her, Shue blocked him. He held her head tightly. He cried loudly. He acted distraught, but also protective. Too protective. The doctor, feeling awkward and pressured, declared the cause of death as everlasting faint, which basically meant she died somehow. The case was closed, or so everyone thought. Zona's mother, Mary Jane Heaster, never believed a word of it. She begged the sheriff to investigate. No one listened. Then, everything changed. Mary Jane said that for 4 nights in a row, Zona appeared at the foot of her bed. Not as a shadow, not as a dream, but as a figure she said was solid, as if alive. Zona told her mother the truth. Shue was violent. He abused her, and in a fit of rage, he snapped her neck. To prove it, the apparition turned her head slowly to the side until Mary Jane heard a crack. She woke up screaming. Mary Jane marched to the courthouse and told the prosecutor everything. Not because she expected him to believe the ghost, but because something finally made sense. Shue dressing the body. Shue hiding the neck. Shue refusing the exam. The prosecutor agreed to something almost unthinkable for the time. They exhumed the body. When doctors removed the scarf, they found Zona's neck was broken. Her windpipe was crushed, and dark bruises circled her throat in the shape of fingers. Exactly what the mother said. Exactly what the ghost supposedly described. Shue was arrested and put on trial for murder. And here's the part that made this case legendary. The defense thought they could humiliate Mary Jane. They questioned her, mocked her, pushed her to explain every detail of the ghost story. Until finally, the judge asked, "Why are you so certain your daughter was murdered?" She said, "Because Zona told me, night after night." And the courtroom fell silent. The testimony wasn't dismissed. The judge allowed it. The jury heard it. Combined with the physical evidence, it sealed Shue's fate. He was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison. To this day, the Greenbrier Ghost remains the only documented case in American law where a ghost's testimony helped solve a murder. Whether you believe Mary Jane truly saw her daughter, or whether it was a mother's intuition desperate to expose the truth, one thing is certain. Zona Heaster Shue didn't stay silent, one way or another.